and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Citibank PLC's earnings disclosure web event of the third quarter of 2025. I am Saida Saima Hussain, your host for the event, welcoming you today. Thank you all very much for joining us. Today, we are honored to have among us Mr. Mohammad Mahbubur Rahman, Additional Managing Director and Chief Financial Officer, who will preside over the meeting in the absence of our Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Mashroor Arifin, who is unable to attend to this event due to unavoidable circumstances. Moving on to the next member of our esteemed panel is the Deputy Managing Director and Head of Wholesale Banking, Mr. Misbah Asif Siddiqui, Deputy Managing Director and Head of Internal Control and Compliance, Mr. AKM Saifullah Kausar, and Chief Risk Officer, Mr. Mohammad Firoz Alam. At Citibank, we take great pride in engaging the investment community in our endeavors. While disclosing our performance and actions, we adhere to a strict code of full transparency and responsibility. Citibank has always measured its success not only in terms of its bottom line numbers, but also in the terms of the goals it has set for itself in order to become one of the finest banks in Bangladesh. Our success is attributed to the continued growth of our business as well as the market's evolution to satisfy the increasingly sophisticated expectations of our respected clients in the areas of liquidity, service, reliability, and mobility. We have made it this far with the help of our community, team, and stockholders by tenaciously adhering to the motto of service and trust. In light of this, we have gathered here today to discuss the bank's current financial situation and its forward looking strategies. We shall start with our AMD and CFO, Mr. Mohammad Mahbubur Rahman, presenting the financial performance and conclude the event with an interactive question and answer session. Before we proceed, I'd like to inform you all that while scheduling the event, we attempted to choose the most fitting time slot so that we could accommodate most of the participants both from local and foreign vicinities and time zones. I'd also like to add that we have opened our Q&A portal, which you can see at the bottom right corner of your screens. During our presentation, you can log in and place any relevant question in the window. We shall try our best to address them in our Q&A session depending on the time available for the program. Ladies and gentlemen, I now request our AMD and CFO, Mr. Mohammad Mahbubur Rahman, to start with the financial performance presentation. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Saima. Hope you can see my presentation.
Yes, the presentation is visible.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone is well and good. So it's really a great pleasure to you to present our financial performance for the third quarter of this year. So again, we have been continuing our growth and profitability even in this challenging environment. So we'll discuss you in detail regarding our performance as well overall macroeconomic situation and also our strategic development to actually address the opportunity that are available in the market, and also we'll also share with you how actually we are actually making all the efforts to actually develop this organization as one of the finest organization in the country. So we are starting with the macroeconomic industry outlook. We all know that the GDP is hovering around 4% at this moment. World Bank, IMF, and ADB all are projecting higher GDP growth in next year. So that is a positive sign for us. So that means actually we are recovering whatever the macroeconomic shock that we have absorbed so far. And one of the major challenges of the economy was inflation. Central Bank has taken a very appropriate, strong actual measure by increasing interest rate to contain the inflation, and you can see that the main challenge of the economy that is inflation, how actually they have addressed it very successfully. So the inflation, when it peaked more than 11%, had come down to below 9%. And though in September there is a few basis point increase in inflation, but in total the overall price situation is under control. And this will definitely help central bank to reduce policy rate, which will again actually we hope that propel the more growth in coming days. Uh, uh, on the external macroeconomic side, we are doing pretty well, though the growth rate may not look very strong. But despite all the global challenges like tariff-related issues and geopolitical issues, we are still having growth in export around 5% in this 9 months, and also import is growing narrowly with 3%. But the main contributor for helping our external factor positive to lead it to the positive area is the remittance. So the still is remittance is growing with very high rate in this financial year as well. Last financial year, we ended with around 30% growth, and this growth is still continuing. And that help our FX reserve situation much stronger. 9 months in September last year, the FX reserve was around $20 billion, which has increased to $26.6 billion with almost 34% growth. So now it's covering more than 6 months import. And with this kind of trend, we hope that also central bank also is projecting to have around $40 billion FX reserve in next financial year. And also if you look at the current account balance, we have also covered huge deficit in current account balance. So from external balance point of view, we are having actually much stronger position at this moment, and it is reflected in our FX rates also. If you look at a movement in the FX rate in recent last 6 months, you'll see that is very much stable at this moment, and sometimes even Taka is getting stronger. So private credit growth as actually as monetary policy as per the monetary policy, actually we are having kind of appropriate credit growth, though it looks lower, because central bank has actually hiked the interest rate, and naturally consequence of that interest rate hike is the slower credit growth, and we are observing at this moment the credit growth is around 6.4%. And NPL is the major challenge of the industry, which is increased to 27%. But all you know that a certain number of banks are having actually exceptional problem, and because of that, actually this NPL ratio has risen. So, but still the industry are actually have many strong banks. Their NPL ratios and as well as ours actually we still remain in a very acceptable level. But unfortunately, we don't have the data actually how much NPL is coming from all those program banks. So probably after completion of their forensic audit, they will come up with some sort of idea actually. So then we'll come to know that how much how much NPL is coming from these program banks. So now we are starting our discussion on our bank. So we have already witnessed that the credit growth for the country is around 6%. But you can see here that our credit growth, our loan and advance, actually grew by almost 16%. Actually, from the end of 2024 in 9 months. So we have already reached 516 billion taka. So for the first time, Citibank loan and advance book actually crossed 500 million taka. So it's another milestone for the Citibank. We are actually trading very strongly in this difficult situation also. And interest rate, on the other hand, actually has increased by 23.7% and reached 40.2 billion taka compared to last year 9 months. And because of and main reason for higher growth in the interest income is basically the yield on advance has also increased, actually in line with the increase of policy rate. So along with the higher growth in loan and advance, and also higher yield on advance, our interest income actually grew even higher than the growth of the balance sheet. And here you can see that it's a segment-wise analysis, which segments are actually contributing more in our balance sheet growth. Still, wholesale banking contributes 60%. Actually, they are growing very strongly. Their growth rate is around 17%. And on the other hand, retail has grown significantly in this year with 24%. And small and microfinance, they grew by around 14%. So all of our actually major segment of our business actually are contributing much higher growth compared to last year. So even in this actually little bit slow economy, our bank is actually growing very fast in every segment. And in deposit also, you can see that last year, if you remember that last year, our overall growth in deposit is around 30%. This year also, we are enjoying very high growth in deposit in terms of volume. So from the end of 2024, our deposit grew by 23.4% and reached 634.5 billion taka. And interest expense has increased naturally because as the central bank has increased their policy rate, and also treasury. So as a result, the treasury bill and bonds rates have risen. So naturally, we had to increase our deposit rate to attract more deposit. And we'll actually show in a later part of the presentation that actually how we have actually addressed this higher cost. And by having actually very strategic investment, and you'll definitely see that this higher interest cost actually it was not a problem for us. Rather, actually, we took the advantage of the growth of our deposit, and we successfully deployed our fund in an alternative investment manner, and which has actually yielded a much higher return. And it will actually set very strong footings for us for future growth as well. So we'll discuss later on in our presentation. So here you can see that the cost of deposit has increased from 4.5% to 5.7% because the FDR rate has increased to 8.6% from 7%, in line with the increase of the interest rate. And so interest cost has increased quite significantly with 86% growth. And here you can see the retail, the main contributor of our deposit growth is retail, and they contribute 64%. Then wholesale banking, through their strong cash management and other corporate solution, they provide 24% of the deposit. So current and savings, if you look at the portion, contribution or kind of separation between the term deposit and CASA, which was actually for 55-44%. CASA ratio has actually decreased because we actually had to acquire more term deposit, because when actually interest rate increase in the market, you cannot expect to have free cost fund. Naturally, customer will shift their fund from current and savings account to term deposit. That actually naturally happened in our case. But if you look at the number of new CASA account opening, here you can see in the bottom line, in the bottom of the presentation, we have opened in 9 months around 232,000 new current account, which is 72% higher compared to the last year 9 months. So the number of account opening in our bank is still actually continuing at a very higher pace. So that means actually we are still attracting a new customer to open account with us, and that is actually that shows our the confidence about us in the market and the brand image and the service quality of the bank. And we'll also discuss more in later on. So because of the higher increase in the cost of deposit, like if you look at the red line here, you can see the cost of deposit has increased from 4.8 to 5.7%. But on the other hand, the interest yield on advance actually increased from 9.8 to 10.4%. So increase of yield is lower than the increase of cost of deposit. Because of that, the actually spread has come down from 5% to 4.7%. But again, actually, I'll explain actually later on. Here, actually, you'll get some answer, and I'll also explain more in next slides that how actually we have deployed this high cost deposit into more profitable business. Here you can see, and here you can have the clue that how actually we have done the investment in this year. So as the policy rate actually has been increased by central bank, and as a result, treasury bill bonds rate has increased. So we have actually invested naturally more in treasury bill and bond. And here you can see, you can actually see the growth in investment. The growth is 51%. So from 2024, our growth investment has increased to 212.6 billion taka from 140.4 billion taka with 51.4% growth. And because of the increase of interest rate of treasury bill and bond and some capital gain from this portfolio, our income from investment has increased by 172%. So from 10.1 billion taka, it has increased to 27.7 billion taka. So 2.7%, 2.7 times higher actually growth in income. So here you can see that though actually we have incurred higher cost in deposit, but we have successfully deployed this high cost deposit to very high yielding asset, which also contributes much less risk profile for the bank. So the condition of the risk-weighted asset of the bank has improved rather, or even we have done significant investment in treasury bill and bond because that actually attracts much less RWA. So in terms of everything, risk point of view, in terms of higher return, actually our that costly deposit has actually contributed more in our profitability. Here also, the other line of business, Citibank is also very much strong in trade business, one of the core area. And here you can see the country's export when actually grew by 5%. Our growth in export is more than 13%, around 13%. So we have handled 2.5 billion worth of export. Import also, when import of the country is around 3% growth. So, but our growth in import is a 6.4%. So in import, in 9 months, we have handled $2.7 billion worth of import. So commission income, if you look at the commission income and other fee income, here actually is showing very minor growth with 1.7%. But commission income from the trade business has grew by significantly. So around, I think around 10% growth we have experienced in commission income. But because of the stability in the FX, actually, unfortunately, the FX income actually declined. So it's good for the economy, but not very good for the bank. But definitely it helps our export-import business, our client who are doing export-import business more favorable situation. That is actually good. That is a better situation for the bank and the industry as a whole. So though our FX income has declined, but our commission income has increased, and this will actually continue. So there will be more growth in commission income in coming days. Credit card is another actually strong pillar of Citibank. Citibank is the #1 credit card service provider in the country. Still, we are holding around 20% of the market share. So our growth in credit card business is in terms of increase of card base is 7.8%. So now we are having around more than 700,000 customer base. and the bill business, which represents the main consumption pattern of our credit card customer, which shows that the bill business has grew by 18.8%. That means our customer base, they are having actually good confidence about the consumer market. So it's a good sign for the economy and for the bank as well. The credit card income as a overall actually increased by 9% and reached 1.6 million taka. 1.6 billion taka, sorry. And so revenue as a whole. So though actually we incurred very high costs in deposit, you have already seen our revenue as a whole actually grew by 27.4% from 27.8 billion taka in last quarter, third quarter of last year, and it increased to 35.4 billion taka in this 9 months. And on a consolidated basis also, there is also 26.4% growth. So our subsidiaries actually, they are actually small contributors in terms of revenue and profitability. So there is minor difference between the solo and the consolidated revenue. So after revenue, now we are showing the operating expense. Right? So in revenue, you have seen that the revenue growth is around 27.4% on a solo basis, on a consolidated basis around 26.4%. But operating expense on a consolidated basis increased by 26.3% from 12.1 billion taka to 15.3 billion taka. Main contributor of this increase of operating expense is a staff expense, which increased from 6.6% to 8.9% with 34.6% growth. Actually, and the major reason for the growth is actually we restructured our salary last year, actually in line with the inflation and also the performance of the bank. So bank has been performing consistently, actually significantly well in last few years, and also we felt that we needed to actually reward our employees with better salary structure, and we have done that with a very bold step. On an average, we have actually increased the salary of our mid-level employees by 30%. So it's one of the highest ever increment actually that is given by any bank in the recent history. So and other operating expense has increased by 16.3%. And the cost has increased from 5.4 billion taka to 6.3 billion taka. And we are continuing with our effort for more automation, more digital solution. And at the same time, because of the increase of our customer base, we are also expanding our physical presence as well. So though actually we have converted, like for example, our more than 80% of our customers use the digital platform, digital platform to do the transactions either through CityTouch or ATM. But even 20% customer who visit our physical distribution channels like branch, sub-branch, and agent banking, as the number, you have seen that the number of accounts has increased by 72%. So that's why actually still we have huge crowd in our physical infrastructure. So we need to expand our physical infrastructure as well, though we have converted 80% of our transaction to digital platform. So here actually we are showing that in last 3 years, we are continuously investing in IT. And it's a year-wise breakup we have showing you. In 9 months, we have invested 728 million taka. And whereas in last year, in whole year, the investment was 561 million taka. So you can see that how much we are investing in IT. So is for making the bank more digital. But at the same time, the expansion of our physical channel is also going on, because the number of footfall is still significantly actually high in our bank as well, because we are acquiring numerous customers actually quite aggressively. So for infrastructure purpose, we are also investing here. You can see the figure, like in 9 months, 312 million taka we have spent for our expansion of physical infrastructure. And here you can see that each year how actually we are increasing our branches, our sub branches. For example, in 2023, we have expanded our sub branches by 29, in 24, 12, and this 9 months 17. Actually, by end of this year, actually our new sub branch or branch will be around 50. So you can see that how much actually, how fast we are growing our physical presence as well. In every year also we are adding ATMs. We have already crossed 500, more than 500 ATMs in the country. And also at the same time also our new we are continuously hiring new employees, actually basically to support our business. Most of the employees are being recruited for branches, sales team, and SME segment. So each year we are actually hiring quite significant number of employees. In 9 months, we have hired 458 employees, whereas it was 266 last year, and in 2023 it was 323. So it indicates these figures actually the purpose of showing all these figures that Citibank is expanding very fast, and we are investing quite significantly, and that has also reflection in our increase of operating costs. So here you can see the summary of what actually I've said. So interest income grew by 23%, but interest expense grew by 86%. So because of that, net interest income growth was showing negative. But to explain the thing better, I'll show in the next slide that actually because we have to follow the format given by central bank. So in this format, it shows that we are incurring actually negative growth in net interest income. But to show a better picture, actual picture, you have to actually include the investment income with the interest income. So if you just do that, so you can see that though our net interest income is showing negative trend, but actually if you add the investment income with the interest income, that here you can see that the income, net interest income, adjusted net interest income, which includes the investment income, which has grown from 21.9 billion taka to 29.2 billion taka with 33% growth. So actually, the fund that we have deployed for the investment actually has given much higher return. So the net interest income under the format of Bangladesh Bank actually is showing negative trend in our revenue, but actually our revenue has grown by 33%. So that's the purpose of showing this this slide. So because of higher revenue growth, you can see that our operating profit has grew by 26.4%, and operating profit was 16.5 billion taka in 9 months of last year, which has grown to 20.8 billion taka with 26.4% growth. So from this operating profit, now actually we definitely deduct the debt charge or provision. Here actually we also made a significant provision this 9 months, which has increased from 6.4 billion taka to 8.8 billion taka. So increase in provision charge has by 38.1%. Because the NPL actually has increased from 3.7% to 4.7%. And in volume, NPL was 16.5 billion taka, which increased to 24.3 billion taka. And also overall NPL situation of the country actually has deteriorated, and definitely because of the political change, global political scenario, and also the inflation, and also the FX crisis that we actually faced in last 2 years actually has a lot of toll on our customers. So because of that, actually the NPL has increased. So, and also one good thing is that central bank has tightened up their NPL regulation. So now we are actually considering classification after 90 days DPD. So now actually even even when the country's overall NPL situation has deteriorated, central bank has actually opted for very high standard NPL regulation, tighter regulation. So because of that, also NPL has increased in our case. But our case, for example, around 20 to 30 basis. Our CRO will actually explain it later. Around 20 basis point NPL actually has increased because of that, and but we are maintaining higher provision coverage. So that is the main cushion that we are building for managing the risk, credit risk. So here you can see that NPL is 24.3 billion taka, but our total provision is 25.5 billion taka. So the coverage ratio is 104%. So NPL provision coverage is higher than the NPL volume. So this is the contribution of our subsidiaries. We have Citi Brokerage, we have Citibank Capital, which is a merchant bank. We have a company in Hong Kong, which the name is Citi Hong Kong Limited, and we have a exchange house in Malaysia, CBL Money Transfer. Their contribution is not that big, so that's why you are not actually basically giving a detailed explanation on that. So their contribution is minor compared to the overall size of the bank. So after considering the subsidies result and deducting provision cost, debt charge from the operating profit, our profit has actually stood at 7.2 billion taka at the end of 9 months, which was 4.5 billion taka. The growth rate is 60.2%. So again, actually, we are actually presenting you actually one of the highest ever profit growth in the Citibank history. So we are really happy to produce this kind of result, considering all the macroeconomic and international situation. So also even after incurring huge cost in deposit and also overall other challenges, you can see that our profit growth and even after considering higher provision cost with higher NPL, our net profit growth is significantly higher. So with this profitability, our return on equity has also increased from 15.26% to 18.47%. Our return on asset has increased from 9.7% to 1.2% in 9 months. So if definitely if we are very much hopeful when we'll have year ending, this ratio will show you much better result. Earning per share for 9 months is 4.7, which was 3.3 1 year back. Book value also increased from 29.9 taka to 8.909. So significant increase we are having in NAV because of the very high growth in asset. Our NPL CRAR has actually on a solo basis declined from 16% to 15%, and on a consolidated basis it declined from 15.3% to 14.8%. We are actually working on issuing a new Tier 2 bond. So hope after issuing Tier 2 bond, this ratio will also improve. This is the actually credit rating of the bank. We are being rated by Moody's. The country's rating is B2, so we cannot have more than B2 rating, unfortunately. But one of the top rating company in Bangladesh, which is CRAB, they have rated us a AAA bank of the country. So we have graduated to AAA last year, and so these are the all about the financial position of the bank and performance of the bank. So I will also actually basically share with you some digital initiative of the bank. You already know that Citibank is the first Google Pay launcher of the country. So within just few months, we have added 63,000 customers and already handled 120 million transactions. So it has become a very trendy and popular product among the youngsters of the country, and we are targeting those actually basically young group. And they are actually basically grabbing this product quite happily. And also there are some other digital initiative that we have been actually doing very successfully. Citi Touch, we believe that is one of the top mobile banking app in the country. And here you can see that the transaction volume is in 9 months is 908 billion taka, and with 37% year-on-year growth. So and number of transaction is 25 million in 9 months, and growth is 30%, and we have already added 906,000 customers. So in digital nano loan, so it's another success of the digital initiative of the bank. So we have already disbursed 39.8 billion taka, and the growth rate is 239%. So it's a fully digital digital loan without any human intervention. We are actually distributing this loan through bKash, the largest mobile financial solution of the country, probably also in the world. So and we have already added 1.3 million customers, and number of loan is more than, I think, 10 million. And we are also actually giving a very smart solution for our customer through IVR. So it's basically self-service kind of solution. So also here also we are actually like last in 9 months we have serviced actually we have given 4.8 million service. Citicorp is another actually internet banking solution for our corporate customer for their deposit and collection. So so here you can see that in 9 months our transaction volume is 618 billion taka, so with 45% growth. So we are also giving a solution for our corporate customer. So number of transactions is 23 million, 44% growth. And also as actually we are targeting to launch more digital solutions. So we are actually engaging with our customer through social media as well. So if you look at our interaction with the customer through social media, you can see that there is also tremendous growth. In Instagram, 532% growth. In Facebook, 33% growth. So we have very active social media engagement with our customer and prospective customer, and especially the young generation. And here actually we are actually again showing you the success story of nano lending. And here you can see the average ticket size is 4,128 taka, so around less than actually $40. So this is actually huge success. Actually, I've told you that we have actually already in number of account wise we have already addressed given 10 million actually loan. So so we are expecting to have actually much higher growth in nano lending. The NPL ratio is around 3%. So still within our risk appetite, and interest rate is around 17%. So it's going very strongly. So now actually I will end my first part here. I'll come back again. So now actually our CRO will explain about our sustainable our initiative about the sustainable finance. So I'm now handing over my presentation to Firoz. Firoz.
Thank you, Maubay.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. Citibank awarded by the central bank as #1 sustainable bank. And you also know that this award actually Bangladesh Bank rated based on the environmental sustainability as well as the core banking sustainability. This emphasizes actually both of the criteria, bank strength as well as the environmental initiatives. At the environmental sustainability side, they consider the green and sustainable finance, green refinancing, CSR, and green office or in-house green banking activities. At the same time, for the core banking sustainability is focusing on the capital adequacy, NPL position, liquidity, profitability, and bank financial strength side. This is the highlights of the related with the green and sustainable finance and green initiatives regarding our the liability product also. Our 9 months total green finance disbursement was more than 5,000 crore against the central bank target of 1,500 crore. And we achieve actually more than the central bank target within the 9 months. And our year-to-year 9 months growth is more than the 32%. And for sustainable disbursement, we disbursed in 9 months, last 9 months, disbursed more than the 42,000 crore, and against the central bank target of 12,000 crore. And if we consider year-to-year target, this year-to-year target in the sustainable finance disbursement was more than 42%. As I already mentioned that we are not only focusing on the actually asset product, we also focusing on the liability product. And we, as a part of our initiatives, we launched the innovative green savings account in last year. And till date, already green savings account opened till date, that means till September, more than the 27,000 account. And the main features of this account, we using this savings fund, investing in the green and sustainable finance project. And also another, it's a another, I think the criteria, another of the plant one tree for the every account, and almost we till date planted more than the 19,000 trees. Green, as a green financing disbursement, Citibank on focusing on the new avenue, and as a part of that, we are focusing on the already mentioned of the CFO Maubei. We finance in the green and digital lending. We focusing on the women entrepreneur financing, and also we focusing on the renewable energy efficiency, and green factories. Last 9 months, our disbursement was in the renewable energy. That means in solar power as well as the windmill. Our total disbursement was 220 crore. And energy and resource efficiency financing was more than 1,100 crore. And we also funded in the LEED certified factory more than the 200 crore. And also, we taking more initiatives on the green banking initiatives that in-house ESG. As part of that, we focusing on the install of the rooftop solar. We install rooftop solar in our branch, 45 branches, and 33 are ATMs, and also 28 agent outlets. We continue focusing on the green initiatives as well as the its reporting to focusing on the reporting side, compliance with global standard as well as the Bangladesh Bank standard. This year, in the first time, we published the ESG report complying with global standard already met GRI, IFRS S1, S2, and SDG. Citibank is the first bank in Bangladesh joining Net Zero Banking Alliance of UNEP FI. And as part of this, we already taken initiatives to reduce our carbon emission, and we already published in our website in Net Zero emission reduction journey. We actually, as Citibank, as part of our initiatives, we always recognized by the locally and internationally. Already mentioned that this year we are awarded by the Central Bank at top #1 sustainable bank, and also we are the top sustainable bank for the 5 times last 5 years in a row by the Central Bank. We also awarded by the SDG Band Forum as the most sustainable financial institution and bank category. And also we recognized by the as a climate focused bank by USAID, Green Tech Foundation, and in the Institute of Energy of Dhaka University. And we also awarded by the GCPF as a global climate partnership award, and also we awarded as top 10 sustainable bank by the Sustainable Magazine of England, and also sustainable finance in top sustainable finance bank in Bangladesh by the Global Finance. This year, we also Citibank has been featured in the Bloomberg ESG rating of 2024. Actually, this is our major achievement only, since the list is the actually more. I just focusing on the few major achievement. This is our first time ESG report that's already in our website. You can scan this QR code by your mobile device, and also you can download from our website. That's all from my side. Over to Maupe.
Okay, thank you. Hope actually who are interested to have this report have already scanned this QR code, or you can also download it from our website also. I'll just actually going to show just a few more slides. We are almost end of our presentation. Citibank, just you have seen that not only just actually focus on the business. We are very much actually passionate about ESG and sustainable banking, and also at the same time we think that in order to actually ensure the sustainability of the bank, we must actually invest in our main resource, that is our employees. So we have already shown this thing actually in our earlier earning disclosure, but just we are giving update that we are through this pillar actually we are continuously adding more actually initiative so that we can develop very quality human resource and leaders who will actually take this bank to even higher level than now. So Citi Cares, actually we are actually ensuring the health and safety of the employee. We are supporting them through health insurance, and also we have developed an emergency support fund for the low income employee whose actually medical expense is not fully covered by insurance. So we actually ensure additional support for them. For example, last year, so far in 9 months, we have supported around 1,200 employees with additional support for themselves and as well as for their family. Citi Innovates, actually we motivate our employee for more innovation. It has become part of the KPI, so that they contribute to the innovation and process development. And Citi Leads, actually we are creating new leader for the bank, so that they can carry on actually the development and leadership position of the bank in the next generation. So we have launched Citi talent management, and we name it Future Fit. So we have already identified future talents, and we are investing quite heavily for them for the development of the leadership. The Citi Career, Citi NDCS, all are actually basically under all this pillar. We are continuously actually working with our employees, and by giving them more actually training. For example, in 2023, our average employee training hour is 20 hours. So it has increased to more than 30 hours this year. So target is to actually take it up to 40 hour training hour for the employee. So and now we're showing some of the major accolades that we've received this year, especially the Daily Star and DHL Daily Star Award. Daily Star is the leading newspaper of the country, and this award is known as the best corporate award of the country. So DHL Daily Star actually recognized Citibank as the best financial institution for 2024. So it's I think one of the it's the best actually corporate award in our country. And already our CRO has shared with you, but here actually as it is again recognition from central bank. So so we must, that's why actually I'm showing it again. We are now actually the #1 sustainable bank of the country, which consists of actually both financial and sustainable marking. And would not only just this year, we have been continuously getting top position for last 5 years under sustainable banking criteria. And also we have won 3 awards from ADB for one of as their leading trade partner. And also so this shows that in trade area also we are actually going very strong and being recognized by the major actually development partner of the country. And this year also we have won one very prestigious award of Financial Alliance from Financial Alliance for Women. So they have recognized our initiative in women banking. So so also this is another business segment where actually we are progressing very fast. So in Islamic banking also we have got as a best one of the best Islamic banking by one of the award asset AAA. And also Visa recognized us because of our successful launching of Google Wallet and Tap and Pay service. Mastercard also recognized us, and also Finance Asia also recognized us as best bank of the country. So with this, actually, I'm ending my presentation. So now I'm handing over to Saima again for carrying out question answers Q&A session. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mahbub sir and Mr. Firoz sir, for your insightful presentation on the financial performance. Ladies and gentlemen, we now welcome your questions as we begin our Q&A session. The first question is, what is your view on bank assurance business? How many policies have you sold so far? When do you think it can be a
So I can actually I'll give you the number, but at this moment we know that our more than 50% of the market share is owned by Citibank. Again, Citibank actually is holding a leading position in the bank assurance market by far. So, but I will give you the precise the number actually how many policy you have sold. But definitely it's also another success of Citibank. It's actually we are going to be a very big in bank assurance, and that will contribute to the non-funded income to the bank.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to the next question. What is the bank's view in entering to MFS and digital bank business?
MFS, actually, we are not targeting to enter into MFS business, but digital banking as a bank, actually, we are converting. We are not just going to launch a digital bank like other digital bank in the world, but we are continuously digitizing our existing product. So digital will be actually kind of new avenue actually distribution channel for us. So, for example, NanoLend is one example. Then our loan acquisition and disbursement process from microcredit segment will be more digitized. Account opening for a retail customer will be more digitized. So in this way, credit card issuance of credit card will be more digitized. So in this way, actually, we are going to actually basically actually offering all of our service through digital platform. So it's a natural because and I think we are one of the few banks of the country who is actually in infrastructure wise and conceptual wise fully ready.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to the next question. What is the update on Beximco zero coupon bond? Are you getting coupon payments timely? Have you started making provisions for it?
We are getting provision. We are getting coupon payment on timely.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to the next question. Any plan for portfolio diversification, like focusing more on stability to avoid current scenario like negative NIM as in Q3 2025 scenario and lowering loan repricing risks?
I think actually Asif can also give us a more idea that what is the actually interest rate situation. So I request actually Asif to answer this question.
A disruption. I could not the question. Can you repeat? There
Yeah.
was
Yes, sure. The question was any plan for portfolio diversification, like focusing more on retail and SME for long-term stability to avoid current scenario like negative NIM, as in Q3 2025 scenario, and lowering the loan repricing risks?
sorry. Can you hear me? Still having
Yeah.
some disruption. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So regarding the interest rate, it depends on the market situation. Interest rate is a double digit in terms of the lending. Since the government a contractionary monetary policy where the interest has shoot up, and is also that's an indication the interest rate will go down. The deposit rates are also slowly going down. The interest rate go down in subsequent quarters. Also, market condition is another, I think, the aspect with interest rate. Part of the question.
Yes, absolutely. And regarding the actually doing more business in other segment, we are continuously doing it, and I think we have already achieved a very nice mix in our portfolio. So we are very much comfortable with the current mix, and gradually every segment will grow, and we have built a very strong position now. Actually, we can pick and choose the best customers. So wholesale bank is having this advantage, and we have built a very strong engine to grow more in retail and other segment, SME segment.
Yeah, the mix is very unique so far. If I add, we have 60% in the wholesale side, and rest is in retail, and others are mixed into small, the medium SME. In other, I think in the most of the banks is having around 70 to 80% in large loans. So this mix will continue in with better, so that it's, in the future.
Okay, moving on to the next question. How does the bank view the headwinds and sector-specific risks in Bangladesh?
Firoz can answer.
Thank you. Actually, the last year, central bank more focusing on the to adapt the international standard. As part of that, they already changes our classification, regulation and classification rules. And as part of this, these already implemented and fully from the April of this month. That means the bank are already adopted this, and regarding considering this in our presentation, we have already shown that the overall sector NPL goes up to 27%. And I think that this is the already reached in the top level. The overall outlook of the scenario are improving. The overall business condition improving because of the central bank reserve improving, our capital account also improving, and the overall business environment improving. But still there is on concern of the election. But we are expected that the another side, the central bank already take initiative by giving policy support as also. to regularize the customers who have suffered during the political situation as the dollar situation. Considering this and overall macroeconomic improvement, I think that this will be improved and the classification status, classification ratio will be goes down. And economic perspective, if we consider that the still our growing sector is the export, as well as the if overall political condition improve, I think that the infrastructure sector and other sector also will be improved, and the overall NPL position we expected to improve.
Thank you, sir. I'll move on to the last question of today's event. What is the bank's approach to green finance or sustainable finance or ESG, given that Bangladesh regulators and development finance ecosystem are adding focus on this?
Both, I
Okay.
think Asif and Asif also can add something also, and as well as
I am
Apin also.
adding was we are already to increase our gain and sustainable finance in line with the local and international standard. We also planning to issue we already I think introduced the green savings account, and we also plan to issue the green bond as a liability side source of the fund. And also, that we already we give our roadmap for the net zero banking alliance, as well as we already introduce our carbon account, as well as to implement the climate risk for climate risk rating. At this moment, Citibank actually this is the already in the assessment as an assessment tool. We introduced the environmental social risk rating, and also we are calculating the carbon emission of our portfolio as well as the customers, and we already almost 50% of our customers carbon emission calculation covered. Going forward, we also increased to our carbon emission calculation, and we published our climate related disclosure S1, S2 and separately.
Thank you all for your insightful answers in the question and answer session. We have reached the end of today's earnings disclosure event. Thank you all for your participation and patience. Before concluding, let me inform you that the recorded version of the entire event will be made available in the same web link as for the live program very shortly. Those of you who missed the live event or want to skim it through it at a later time will find the whole event documented there. The financial presentation will also be available in Citibank's website under the Investor Relations section. We appreciate your participation and patience. Thank you again for your interest in Citibank PLC. Goodbye, stay safe and stay well.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Hope to see you again.